The story of the nation of Ad is one of mystery, power, and ultimate destruction. Ad was an ancient and mighty civilization, known for its strength, wealth, and incredible architecture. This nation is mentioned in the Quran and various Islamic texts as a warning to humanity about the consequences of arrogance and defiance against divine guidance. The Quran describes them as a people who built grand structures and believed they were invincible, but their disobedience and rejection of Allah's messengers led to their downfall. The people of Ad lived in a region called Agaf, often identified with parts of modern-day Yemen and Oman. They were blessed with natural resources and prosperity, but they allowed their blessings to fill them with pride. Their arrogance turned into a sense of superiority, and they began to forget the very source of their strength, Allah. Prophet Hud, peace be upon him, was sent to guide them back to the path of righteousness, but most of them mocked and rejected his message. What makes Ad particularly fascinating is their advanced lifestyle and achievements. They were skilled builders, creating monumental structures that seemed to defy the capabilities of their time. Their homes were massive, carved into mountains, showcasing their strength and ingenuity. Despite their worldly success, their spiritual and moral failures overshadowed everything else. Their story is not just a tale of destruction, it's a profound reminder for every generation. It demonstrates the consequences of pride and turning away from divine guidance. As we explore the history, lifestyle, and eventual punishment of Ad, we also uncover lessons that remain relevant today. In the next section, we will delve deeper into who the people of Ad were and what set them apart from other nations. The people of Ad were one of the earliest and most powerful nations to walk the earth. They are often remembered for their unmatched strength, advanced architecture, and the eventual divine punishment that obliterated them. Ad is mentioned in the Quran as a nation that thrived after the people of Prophet Noah, peace be upon him. They were descendants of Noah's son, and their story serves as both a historical record and a cautionary tale. The nation of Ad lived in a region called Agaf, a desert area believed to be in present-day Yemen and Oman. This area was once lush and fertile, a testament to the blessings they enjoyed. They were a tall and physically strong people, often described as giants in historical accounts. Their strength wasn't limited to their physical appearance but extended to their dominance over the environment. They built massive, fortified cities and homes carved into mountains, showcasing their architectural brilliance and engineering skills. Despite their earthly might, Ad was deeply flawed spiritually. They worshipped idols, attributing their success and prosperity to false gods. They indulged in arrogance, believing they were unbeatable and that no one could challenge their dominance. This attitude led them to reject the message of Prophet Hud, peace be upon him, the messenger sent by Allah to guide them. Prophet Hud called them to abandon idol worship and return to the worship of Allah, the one true God. However, they dismissed him as a liar and mocked his warnings about divine punishment. The Quran highlights their stubbornness and arrogance. In one instance, the people of Ad are quoted saying, "Who is stronger than us in power?" Quran 41:15. This statement encapsulates their pride and defiance. They saw themselves as invincible, forgetting that their strength was a gift from Allah. What sets Ad apart is the sheer scale of their disobedience and the magnitude of their eventual punishment. After years of warnings from Prophet Hud, Allah unleashed a fierce windstorm upon them. This windstorm lasted for 7 nights and 8 days, erasing their cities and burying them in sand. The Quran vividly describes this punishment, emphasizing that not a trace of them was left, despite their once mighty stature. The story of Ad is more than just a tale of destruction, it is a lesson in humility and the consequences of turning away from divine guidance. Their story is a reminder that no matter how powerful or advanced a nation becomes, it is still subject to the will of the Creator. In the next section, we will explore the blessings and advancements Ad enjoyed, as well as their moral and spiritual decline. What led such a prosperous nation to reject Allah's message, and what can we learn from their choices? Prophet Hud, peace be upon him, was chosen by Allah to guide the people of Ad, a nation that had strayed far from the path of righteousness. Born among them, Hud was respected for his noble lineage and upright character. He lived a life of simplicity and sincerity, in stark contrast to the arrogance and indulgence of his people. His mission was clear: to call them back to the worship of the one true God and remind them of their accountability to their Creator. Hud's message was both a warning and an invitation. He implored the people of Ad to abandon their idol worship and turn to Allah, who had blessed them with extraordinary strength, fertile lands, and technological advancements. He reminded them of the fate of earlier nations who had defied divine commands, emphasizing that worldly power and wealth would not protect them from Allah's wrath. He spoke with unwavering conviction, saying, "O my people, worship Allah, you have no deity other than Him. Will you not fear Him?" Quran 7:65. Despite his sincerity, the people of Ad mocked and ridiculed him. They dismissed his warnings as foolishness, accusing him of being possessed or lying. They argued that their prosperity was proof of their God's favor and saw no reason to change their ways. Hud continued to preach, urging them to seek forgiveness and promising that Allah's mercy would be upon them if they repented. His persistence highlighted his deep concern for their well-being, yet their arrogance blinded them. They challenged him to bring the punishment he warned of, further demonstrating their defiance. Hud's unwavering dedication to his mission underscores the timeless struggle between truth and arrogance. In the next section, we'll explore how Ad's blessings turned into their downfall, leading to their ultimate destruction. The people of Ad were known for their unparalleled strength, advanced lifestyle, and grand architectural achievements. They lived in the region of Al-Agaf, a vast area believed to have been rich with resources and blessed with favorable conditions for agriculture and settlement. Ad's people utilized their physical power and ingenuity to create an impressive civilization, which became a symbol of their arrogance and defiance against divine guidance. The Adites were a thriving community that indulged in wealth and luxury. Blessed with fertile lands, they cultivated abundant crops and maintained vast herds of livestock. Their prosperity was unmatched, and they took pride in their strength and ability to dominate the natural world. However, their success bred arrogance, leading them to disregard Allah's blessings and indulge in idolatry. Their social structure was deeply hierarchical, with leaders who enjoyed vast riches and ruled with an iron fist. They dismissed the needs of the poor and oppressed, believing their might justified their actions. Their sense of invincibility was rooted in their physical superiority and the grandeur of their cities. One of the most remarkable aspects of Ad's civilization was their architectural prowess. They built towering structures, fortresses, and monumental buildings that displayed both their skill and arrogance. The Quran refers to these as, "And when you seize others, seize as tyrants. So fear Allah and obey me. And fear He who provided you with that which you know, provided you with grazing livestock and children and gardens and springs." Quran 26:131-34. Their cities were adorned with intricate designs, massive columns, and elaborate carvings, symbolizing their belief in their permanence and power. These towering structures became a point of pride, as they believed their buildings would stand forever as a testament to their superiority. Rather than humbling themselves before Allah, the Adites viewed their achievements as their own doing. Their arrogance grew with every success, and they began to openly challenge Prophet Hud's warnings, claiming their power and ingenuity made them immune to divine punishment. The ruins of Ad, now buried beneath the sands of Al-Agaf, serve as a haunting reminder of how arrogance and defiance can lead to downfall. Despite their advancements, their reliance on worldly achievements over faith became their undoing. In the next section, we will delve into the divine punishment that ultimately erased Ad's civilization from history. Their tragic end emphasizes the consequences of ignoring the message of Allah and serves as a timeless warning for future generations. The people of Ad met their downfall in a way that was as extraordinary as their strength and achievements. Despite repeated warnings from Prophet Hud, peace be upon him, to abandon their idolatry and arrogance and turn back to Allah, they continued to defy and mock him. Their disbelief and rebellion reached a point where divine punishment became inevitable. The warning ignored, Prophet Hud relentlessly reminded them of the transience of their worldly power. He warned them of Allah's wrath and urged them to seek forgiveness and reform their ways. However, the people of Ad dismissed these warnings, believing their might and monumental cities were indestructible. They taunted Prophet Hud, saying, "Who is more powerful than us?" Quran 41:15. Their arrogance blinded them to the reality that no power could match that of the Creator. The start of the calamity. The punishment began subtly, as the skies turned ominous. What seemed like a simple drought grew worse over time. Rain ceased, and the fertile lands of Al-Agaf withered. The people of Ad saw dark clouds on the horizon and rejoiced, thinking relief was coming. Little did they know, these clouds carried the very destruction they had been warned about. The Quran describes this moment vividly. And when they saw it as a cloud approaching their valleys, they said, "This is a cloud bringing us rain." Rather, it is that for which you were impatient, a wind containing a painful punishment. Quran 46:24. A wind unlike any other. The punishment came in the form of a fierce, roaring wind. This wasn't an ordinary storm. It was a divine force that lasted 7 nights and 8 days, mercilessly obliterating everything in its path. The once mighty people of Ad, known for their physical strength and towering buildings, were rendered powerless. The Quran states, "It destroyed everything by the command of its Lord, and they became so that nothing was seen of them except their dwellings." Quran 46:25. A civilization erased. The Adites were swept away as though they had never existed. Their monumental buildings crumbled, and their mighty forms lay lifeless in the sand. Their arrogance, defiance, and disbelief led to a tragic end that serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of challenging Allah's authority. A warning for all generations. The punishment of Ad underscores the impermanence of worldly power and the futility of defying divine commands. Their story echoes through time, urging humanity to reflect on its actions and heed the warnings of prophets. In the next section, we will explore the lessons we can derive from the fate of Ad and how their story remains relevant to our lives today. The story of Ad is not merely a historical account, it is a profound reminder for humanity. Their rise to power, arrogance, and eventual downfall offer valuable lessons for future generations, warning against the consequences of defying divine guidance. The danger of arrogance. The people of Ad were gifted with extraordinary strength, wealth, and advanced civilization. However, instead of being grateful to Allah, they grew arrogant. They believed their might was unmatched and dismissed the possibility of divine punishment. This pride led them to mock Prophet Hud, peace be upon him, and reject his call to worship Allah alone. Their fate teaches us that arrogance blinds us to truth and brings about destruction. Disobedience has consequences. Despite repeated warnings, Ad's people clung to their sinful ways. They refused to abandon idolatry and ignored the signs of Allah. Their defiance serves as a stark reminder that persistent disobedience and ignoring the guidance of prophets can lead to dire consequences. Divine mercy is vast, but so is divine justice when limits are crossed. The fragility of human power. Ad's monumental buildings and physical might could not shield them from Allah's wrath. The fierce wind that destroyed them wiped away their legacy, reducing them to a forgotten chapter of history. This reminds us that no matter how advanced or powerful we may become, human achievements are fragile before the Creator's will. True strength lies in humility and submission to Allah. A reminder for all times. The story of Ad is a timeless lesson. It calls upon humanity to reflect on its actions, avoid arrogance, and live in accordance with divine guidance. It warns against the false sense of security that wealth, power, or technology may provide, emphasizing that only faith and obedience to Allah offer lasting protection. As we move forward, reflecting on such stories helps us align our lives with moral and spiritual principles, ensuring we don't repeat the mistakes of those who came before us. Their fate is a mirror for every generation, urging us to choose righteousness over rebellion. The mysterious people of Ad, mentioned prominently in the Quran, have long fascinated historians, archaeologists, and believers alike. Their grandeur, strength, and ultimate obliteration leave us questioning their true whereabouts and legacy. What happened to their once thriving civilization? Can we trace their existence through archaeological findings? Let's explore the evidence and theories surrounding the lost nation of Ad. Ad in the Quran, a forgotten civilization. The Quran describes Ad as a mighty nation with unparalleled strength. Their homeland was Al-Agaf, meaning, the dunes, located in a desert region. Historical and Islamic scholars associate this with the empty quarter, Rub, Al-Khali, in the Arabian Peninsula, a vast desert stretching across Saudi Arabia, Oman, and Yemen. The Quran states that Ad built towering structures and carved their homes out of mountains, boasting an advanced architectural understanding. Their destruction, however, left no trace of their former greatness. Clues from archaeology. In recent decades, archaeologists have unearthed evidence in southern Arabia that might point to Ad. The discovery of an ancient city, Ubar, often called the Atlantis of the Sands, has sparked speculation. Found in Oman, Ubar is thought to be a trade hub for frankincense, flourishing during Ad's possible timeline. Advanced scanning technologies revealed buried structures and an impressive water management system, suggesting a sophisticated society. While some argue it aligns with descriptions of Od, others remain skeptical, citing insufficient evidence. Geological evidence. Al-Agaf and its dunes. The empty quarter's shifting sands may hold the key to uncovering Od. Researchers believe the desert's harsh environment might have buried cities and artifacts over millennia. Core samples from the region show evidence of ancient rivers and lush vegetation, which aligns with Quranic descriptions of Od living in fertile lands before their destruction. However, excavations are challenging due to the vast and inhospitable terrain. Histories from other cultures. While the Quran provides the primary account of Od, traces of similar legends appear in other traditions. Some historians connect Od to the lost tribes mentioned in ancient Arab poetry, while others draw parallels with the biblical people of Aram. The Book of Enoch and other ancient texts describe vanished civilizations, potentially hinting at societies like Od. These overlapping narratives suggest a shared memory of a great but lost people. Why is tracing Od difficult? The complete destruction of Od poses challenges to uncovering their remains. The Quran states that their punishment was so severe that their civilization was entirely obliterated, leaving no trace. Moreover, the desert's shifting sands may have buried any evidence, preserving their story only in oral and written traditions. Modern technology, such as ground-penetrating radar and satellite imagery, provides hope for discovering buried ruins, but definitive proof remains elusive. The lack of tangible evidence of Od's existence is itself a powerful lesson. Their story reminds us of the transience of human power and the ultimate authority of Allah. Their obliteration and the inability to locate their remains emphasize the Quran's warning: no matter how advanced or mighty a people become, they cannot escape divine justice. Despite the challenges, interest in uncovering the mysteries of Od persists. Scholars, archaeologists, and believers continue to explore the empty quarter and nearby regions, hoping to find evidence of this enigmatic civilization. Their efforts serve not just to satisfy curiosity but also to deepen understanding of historical events narrated in religious texts. Where are Od today? The answer lies buried beneath layers of history, geography, and divine will. Their story is both a cautionary tale and a call to reflection. Whether or not physical traces are ever found, the lessons of Od endure, reminding us of the fleeting nature of human achievements and the importance of faith and humility. Their fate, hidden yet evident, resonates across generations, urging us to heed the signs of history and align our lives with righteousness. Islam provides profound insights into the rise and fall of nations, emphasizing moral, spiritual, and societal dimensions. The Quran frequently highlights historical examples to demonstrate that the prosperity or downfall of a civilization is inherently tied to its adherence to divine principles and moral integrity. The story of Od is just one of many instances illustrating this universal truth. In Islamic teachings, faith and morality form the foundation of a thriving society. The Quran states that Allah grants strength and blessings to nations that uphold justice, compassion, and worship. Surah Al-Araf 7:96 affirms, "If the people of the towns had believed and feared Allah, we would have opened to them blessings from the heavens and the earth." This verse underscores that faith and piety lead to divine support, fostering collective prosperity. However, when a nation turns away from these values, indulging in corruption, arrogance, and oppression, its downfall becomes inevitable. The Quran describes how once mighty civilizations, like Ad, Thamud, and the pharaohs, were destroyed because of their persistent disobedience to Allah despite repeated warnings. Islamic principles emphasize justice as a critical pillar for sustaining a nation. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned, "A nation can survive with disbelief, but it cannot survive with injustice." When leaders exploit power, neglect the rights of their people, and engage in tyranny, they set the stage for societal collapse. This principle is evident throughout Islamic history, where unjust rulers and corrupt systems led to the decline of once glorious empires. The Quran often reminds humanity that worldly power is temporary and cyclical. Surah Al-Imran 3:140 states, "And these days of varying conditions we alternate among the people." No nation, regardless of its strength, is immune to decline. This cyclical nature of history serves as a reminder that material wealth and power should never breed arrogance or complacency. Islam urges nations to reflect on historical precedents and align their actions with divine guidance. The rise and fall of civilizations are not random occurrences but consequences of their choices. These lessons are timeless, encouraging humility, accountability, and adherence to justice and morality to ensure collective well-being and avoid the fate of past nations. The story of Ad and their eventual downfall is more than just a historical account, it is a timeless lesson for humanity. The rise and fall of this once great civilization demonstrate the fragility of worldly power and the consequences of arrogance, disobedience, and moral decay. Despite their unmatched strength, impressive architecture, and material success, the people of Ad failed to heed the divine message brought by Prophet Hud, peace be upon him, leading to their ultimate destruction. The Quran repeatedly reminds us that the fate of Ad is a warning for all who follow. Surah Al-Haqqa, 69. 6-8 describes their obliteration by roaring wind, emphasizing that no trace of them remained. This serves as a stark reminder that no matter how advanced or powerful a nation may become, it is vulnerable to collapse if it abandons moral values and divine guidance. Ad's story urges humanity to maintain humility and recognize the ultimate authority of Allah over all things. Today, many parallels can be drawn between the people of Ad and modern civilizations. The pursuit of material wealth, technological advancement, and dominance often overshadows spiritual and ethical responsibilities. Nations that indulge in oppression, exploitation, and moral corruption risk following the same path of destruction. It is crucial for societies to reflect on their priorities and ensure that progress aligns with justice, compassion, and accountability. Islam teaches that with every warning comes an opportunity for redemption. The downfall of Ad serves as both a cautionary tale and a call to action. Individuals and nations alike are encouraged to seek Allah's guidance, uphold justice, and live in harmony with His commands. Surah Az-Zumar, 39. 53 reminds us, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins. The story of Ad is a powerful testament to the impermanence of worldly achievements and the enduring importance of faith and morality. It calls upon us to learn from history, seek Allah's pleasure, and build societies rooted in justice and righteousness, ensuring that we do not repeat the mistakes of the past.